Business Roundtable stands with the millions of Americans across the nation calling for policing reform. We urge members of Congress to continue working together to pass bipartisan policing legislation that can be signed into law before August recess. Paid for by Business Roundtable.
Hear that? That's the sound of my just got a payment worth 3 months of payroll face, also known as my pay face. It happens when I can accept credit and debit cards, bank transfer, and mobile pay with Intuit QuickBooks. That's payments made easy. Wait, I thought this ad was over. Oh no, here comes my holding in a squeal in front of a customer face. And my, whoa, getting paid twice as fast face. Thanks for that, QuickBooks.
QuickBooks Payments account subject to eligibility. Twice as fast based on customer use comparison from August 2019 to July 2020.
Mattress Warehouse knows that buying a mattress can be tough. With so many choices, where do you start? Introducing Bed Match, a patented diagnostic system that determines your pressure points and recommends the mattresses that are best for your individual sleep needs. And it's found only at Mattress Warehouse. Come try Bed Match at a Mattress Warehouse near you. Visit sleephappens.com for locations and get free next day delivery on select purchases.
Mattress Warehouse, sleephappens.com.
It's 90210MG with Jenny Garth and Tori Spelling.
Hello, everybody. It's another episode of 90210MG. Hi, guys.
Hey. Hi, party people. Okay, so this is the Halloween episode, and Jen and I dressed up, and sis, you didn't dress up?
Well, no, I did dress up. Let's describe what you guys are wearing. So Tori is a kitty cat.
I know, it's so original. I'm super proud.
You got the cute cat ears.
Yeah,
they're
like
very
you said,
sexy
it's the
cat
Halloween
ears.
Episode, and we forgot to dress up, so this was very last minute, honestly. And we both turned on our Zoom link and saw that we were dressed as the same thing, basically.
You guys did not call each other?
No.
So you found, okay, so then, and Jenny, you're wearing Minnie Mouse ears. Yeah. Very cute. So you've got the whiskers as well. You guys both have whiskers on.
We do.
I'm a mouse.
Noses and whiskers.
Oh, that's not what mouse says.
What does a mouse does? It's like, eek. Okay, so I too whipped this up about 15 minutes ago. I'll bring my screen down a little bit. Well, you know what? Let me stand up.
What? It's a Barbie hurtling.
You gotta think outside the box. Think outside the box.
Barbie is on a ball.
Doll bar flying splits over the bump.
It's a
Olympics.
gymnast.
No, but think more Miley Cyrus.
Oh, wrecking ball. Hello. You're dressed like Miley Cyrus from her wrecking ball video. I love it.
That's really good.
I made the bump.
You're very creative, Sissany.
For a second, I thought it was Jen's doll. I thought it was the Kelly Taylor doll.
Oh, I would never do that to her doll.
Just a generic Barbie.
She just looks Yeah.
I get. Yeah, that was very good of you to whip that up at the last minute.
I did. It was a quick Google search. I said, last minute pregnant Halloween costume. And this was one of them that came up. And I was like, well, I have a gray
don't say that. Take credit for that. That was a really good one.
Okay, well, thank you.
So, you know how people do Christmas in July. So we're doing Halloween in July.
Halloween in July. Happy Halloween. Very spooky. That was my spooky voice. Sorry. Yeah. Very festive that we dressed up because we wanted to have fun today.
It's true. But if you guys are listening, we have whiskers on and noses. Mm-hmm. But if you're watching this, you will see that we have matching noses and whiskers. And we tend to do this without, like, people think all the time that we like coordinate our outfits or wear colors that are the same because we've talked about it. But it just happens. It's like energetically.
It's weird. Even when you think there's no energy there, it happens.
Yeah.
Can't get rid of it.
True that. So you guys, this is our first Halloween episode of 90210.
It is. Is it kind of our first like themed episode?
Yes.
I thought it was awesome. I love a themed episode.
True. It was so good. What a good episode.
Yeah, this one was, I liked it a lot. We'll just get right into it. It was season 2, episode 13, entitled Halloween. Hello. It aired on October 31st, 1991.
Synopsis: a Halloween party is highlighted by Kelly's bewitching costume. Meanwhile, other twins give Brandon and Emily a scare. And David and Scott remember the good old days.
Directed by Michael Gatelman and written by Darren Starr and Jonathan Roberts. The episode is chocked up full of it. The whole thing from beginning to end just feels like a great Halloween movie, like you're watching a Halloween movie, because it starts like on the eerie, montage with the pumpkins. And it just has that vibe throughout.
And Charles Fleischer, am I saying his name right? Is the costume salesman in it. And he was Roger Rabbit.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
I you know what? When
Am I wrong?
In the costume shop, when they go to like Western costume warehouse or whatever, the guy holding up the costumes, I thought that he sounded like familiar or something.
He does like all those old voices. He used to do like a bunch of crazy voices. I feel like he did a lot of like crazy things while we were filming. They didn't use that many of them or any.
We went, so the gang goes to, like we were saying, they go to the costume shop, right? And they're picking out costumes. And I thought it was really funny and sort of weird that Donna and Kelly were going to dress as Lucy and Ethel, because you and I always talk about you're Lucy and I'm Ethel.
Okay, wait. I heard that in the scene where they're carving pumpkins, and I thought I heard it wrong. And I thought Brenda and Kelly were going to go as Lucy and Ethel. And I was super sad.
No,
because we're Lucy and Ethel.
But they go to this costume house, and they have these costume houses here in LA, which are amazing. They have just giant warehouses full of every costume ever worn in any movie or whatever, like just anything you want to be. And they're so beautiful and professional, and they cost a lot to rent. But the gang goes there, and I thought it was kind of interesting because maybe someday, or maybe now, people go to that costume shop and say, I want to dress like Steve Sanders. Do you think they have people go in and say, I want to look like Dylan McKay. I want the costume of Brenda Walsh.
Totally.
Yeah, for sure.
But wait, okay, so when you were saying it, you said Western costumes, which is the iconic one, and that is where we filmed it.
It is.
But they call it Hollywood costumes in the show, I think. And I have a question. Can the general public go to the Western costumes now?
Yeah, I believe so. I've gone to them just as like a human, and just gone and shopped for stuff.
Because I thought when we in the olden days, no, but in 30 years ago, wasn't it just like movie people, like stylists?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think there's still those ones that it's more like clothes that you can, I don't know, but
which was the place we filmed.
Yeah, the costume houses are out there ready for you to shop at, and they are amazing. Maybe this year Halloween will be a little better than it was last year. We'll get to dress up, and we'll get to go out and have parties and trick or treat, hopefully.
Hopefully not get raisins.
Okay, yeah. What in the hell is she thinking?
Honestly, I'd rather get floss than raisins.
Ooh, I would too. Honestly, that sounds like Cindy decides she's going to give out raisins. You don't move to Beverly Hills and give out raisins on Halloween. She is going to get TP'd or egged or something.
1000%. They are not nature's candy. Sorry. Honestly, I'd rather get a prune because
I like raisins. I don't have I'm not anti-raisin, but for Halloween candy, what a bummer.
At least have them be yogurt covered raisins.
Yeah, I don't mind. Yeah, I don't mind those.
Wait, have you guys ever been, or have you ever TP'd or egged someone? Or have you been TP'd or have you been egged? That's my question.
All the above.
I feel like you were the one TPing and egging, sis. Just saying.
Yes.
True.
But it was like what you did in 7th and 8th grade. That's what you did you'd have a slumber party. It was usually your birthday. And then you'd go toilet papering that night. And my mom would drive us, and we'd park down the street. She would. I was the last one. She kind of was just like, all right,
whatever you want.
All rules out just let's just live it up. So she would drive us all. We'd get in her 4Runner and put all the seats down. So unsafe.
And you would TP. Did you ever egg anyone?
I think we probably did.
Yeah,
we did bad things. We got really in trouble one time because one of the girls that we were TPing, one of the girls that we were doing it with us, she turned on the hose to like wet all the toilet paper so that it would be terrible to get out. So messed up. It's vandalism. It's truly. What happened was we left the water running and apparently their garage was cracked and flooded part of their garage. It was so, we didn't obviously do that intentionally. Well, no, but anyways.
Did mom get in trouble?
No, because they didn't press charges or anything. Like it wasn't so crazy, but they did call the police and you know, it's essentially kind of a small knit town and where I grew up in Orange County, within Orange County. And that Monday, we're all at school. This is 8th grade. We all get called to the principal's office and we go there and there's a police officer there and they scared us straight. They were like, this is what you did. This is how much it'll cost. Like, blah, 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 blah. We just like got left off with a warning, thank God. But I don't think we ever toilet papered ever since. No. That was the last time.
I would think you wouldn't go back to that.
No.
What about you, Tor?
I've gotten eggs.
You've gotten egged?
Yes, because when I was young, okay, so my mom was best friends with Nolan Miller, who is the costume like genius behind like Dynasty and everything. So she would have him make my costumes every year. And they were elaborate and amazing. But like when you're on the other end, I was like, I just want a plastic store-bought costume because I just wanted to fit in. And she made this Marie Antoinette costume with this huge giant like powdered wig. And I had this giant costume that I couldn't move in, which now that I'm thinking, maybe that's why they write Donna into big dresses and costumes that she can't move in, because my mom would put me in costumes I couldn't move in and it wasn't fun. And I remember going down the street and I got egged and kids were like laughing at me and pointing at me. And then I was like, can I go home now? And they let me go home.
Oh, that's so mean. Like you were directly egged? Like your human body?
I wasn't that mad though, because I was like, see, I told you this costume's a joke. But now I look back on pictures, I'm like, that costume's amazing. But at 8 years old, you don't want to be wearing like a huge 18th century costume.
Mm. What about you, Jenny?
I don't remember ever TPing or egging anyone. I lived really far out in the country, so that we didn't really have any neighbors. But I did get egged very recently, actually.
What?
Yeah, this is a good one. My last house, apparently the neighbor that lived just below us on the hillside didn't like my dogs barking. And so she decided to come over. A woman, a professional lady, walks over and egged my front entry, the gate. She actually spray painted it too with black spray paint, and also on the like little call box, which had a camera in it. Hello. So when we got home, we saw it. I rewound the video footage and saw that it was my neighbor. And you can see her clear as day. You can see her when she's like spray painting and then she goes shh right at the camera and the camera goes black. Like what? She's so dumb. She didn't know she was being filmed. Like she thought that maybe she didn't care if I knew it was her, but I didn't press charges. But that was, I was like, you got to pay to get this cleaned up.
Did you call her? Did you go knock on her door?
Absolutely. Her husband was mortified. He was like, I can't believe she did this. I'm really sorry. She got upset.
And it was because of the dogs?
It was because of the dogs barking.
That is she's certifiable. Like, what?
Well, yeah.
That's a bit much.
You never know about your neighbors in LA.
Apparently.
Yikes.
Wait, is she nice to you now?
No, I moved. She was probably really glad when I moved.
Before you moved. Okay, okay.
What kind of Halloween costumes did your kids ask for growing up?
My kids always wait till the last minute and then they create something, which I appreciate.
Okay.
They make, always dress in a little group with their friends and everybody dresses alike.
I always made DIY costumes and a lot of times like food related. until they were old enough to look at pictures, and then they were like, we don't want to do that anymore. And now they all they're in the store-bought
food
costume.
related, like what? Like you dress them up like a Twinkie or?
Like PB&J?
Like your child, Hattie, she was born in October, so she was only 3 weeks old for Halloween. And I made her a turkey costume. And she was like bundled up inside. She didn't go out. It was just and like on a platter, a foam platter.
On a platter.
She was a little turkey.
She was a turkey. And like Finn was a piece of sushi. So he had like his little thing. He was like swaddled. And then I had like the balls on top of him.
Yeah, I love
Balls. Halloween's so fun.
It is. I'm so glad it'll be back this year.
You know what wasn't fun? Was the music in this episode. It pulls me out so hard. I don't know if the music that I'm listening to when I watch it on Hulu is the real music that when it was actually on. I'm a little confused about that, but it's so hokey and so there will be in the middle of a scene, and because the dialogue will kind of go in one direction, they'll start creating the music to go in that direction, like campy little do 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 do. Like it's really distracting to me.
It was insane. Something tells me it was original, like because it was like
no offense
in the costume shop.
I mean, no offense. Exactly what I'm talking about. The costume shop. I mean, they wanted to have a little fun, I guess, but then to me, it was a little too much. But I guess some people liked it.
I'm going to guess there were other things that were distracting to you in this episode as well.
Well, I think we should do an official boom count for every episode. It's an ongoing thing. This episode, I only saw it one time. One boom. Was that the thing you were thinking was distracting?
No, because I know these things distract you. The scene in the Halloween party, they kept cutting to the same group of people.
And
like the same shot.
The same shot of like the establishing shot of the big poofy guy, whatever he was.
It was crazy. I was like, wait, you just used that. And one of the shots, I was included in it. Like they cut to me as the mermaid, like standing there rolling my eyes, and they cut to me again.
It seems like maybe they were really rushed on time and they didn't get more footage, more, angles. I didn't really notice that, but now I'm going to watch out for that from moving forward. But the party looked fun. I thought I wanted to throw a Halloween party. I've thrown some big Halloween parties. You probably have too, Tor. Go all out for Halloween. I used to live in a neighborhood where they would like bus in the trick-or-treaters from all over. We would have thousands of people in our neighborhood, and there was like a stunt show on the corner, and they would shut down the streets. This was in Toluca Lake. But I don't live there anymore, thank goodness. But it was so expensive to just buy enough candy to give out to everyone. It was crazy.
That is crazy.
I remember years ago when you lived there, seeing a picture of you in the tabloids. They had gotten a picture of you decorating for Halloween. It was the cutest photo. Do you remember this?
No, I don't remember. I remember though when I lived in that house, the girl's dad used to like to dress up. Like he was super into dressing up, and I was never really that into dressing up. And he would dress up like I can just remember one year he would dress up as Peter Pan, and the girls would be Tinkerbell and Wendy and all the fun little things, and he made me be Shmee.
Wait, what?
He made me be Shmee.
I can't.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
He made you be. Why didn't you say no? Why didn't you pick a better character?
Yeah, well, what else was left at that point?
Nana?
Nana the
It would have been better to be Nana.
Cute. Yes. Why were you Shmee?
No, and it went that way a few other Halloweens too. I don't remember specifically like that one, but like if he was like the knight in shining armor, I was like the horse or something, or like he was the prince, I was the witch, whatever.
Or you could have been Peter Pan and he could have been Captain Hook or something, anything.
I don't know what happened.
Wait, when you guys first got together before you had kids, were you like partner Halloween costume players? Like,
no, I never was a dresser-upper until I had kids, really. And I mean, when I was a kid, I did, but as like a young adult, I didn't really dress up. And I got married so early that I went from being a teenager right to being married. So, but yeah, people do that though. They dress up in like Brenda and Dylan, Bonnie and Clyde, so cute. I like that when the couple dresses like partners in crime.
Yeah, that would be like if in your family, like he would have been Dylan and like had all the girls dressed as like Kelly and Brenda and Donna, and then you would have been Nat, right? Is that what he would have done to you?
Pretty much.
I'm so mad about that.
We call him up, let him know.
I'm furious.
It's really funny though.
You know what I wondered though was how did Donna, like if I was watching this show and I thought it was real, which people do, I was like, how did Donna even get to the party in that outfit? Like, how did you get to that spot in front of the food table where we first see you as a mermaid? How did you get there?
Mm-hmm. That's a good question. And there wasn't Uber back then, you guys. No.
You had to be airlifted in because you couldn't have walked.
I feel like they had to bring me in on what were those things where they bring the plants in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had to dolly you in. You look great. That was a great costume, the mermaid costume.
Was it truly that tight?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I honestly couldn't move. But it kind of defeats the purpose. Like Kelly tries to get Donna to dress like something sexy. And she's like, no, I can never pull that off. And then she's like basically naked in a mermaid's tail with shells. Like it's in pearls. Like it didn't make sense, that part.
Yeah, it was.
She's like, it's going to win funniest costume. I'm like, well, it's not exactly funny.
Yeah, you were a sexy mermaid.
I feel like you all had your entrances coming in, Bonnie and Clyde, and then Donna, and then finally Kelly, and they do like the pan up from your legs all the way to the top. And they really made a big deal of how sexy the costume was.
That was like a head turner moment.
It was.
Everybody in the party stopped breathing for a few minutes and they saw Kelly come in. But I didn't get it. I didn't really think her costume was that like risque or revealing or anything. It was black and it was like witchy. Did you guys think it was super sexualized?
No. I mean, it was sexy, and that is probably something like someone could have worn somewhere else if they were just dressing sexy. But it could have gone further.
Yeah, it could have gone further and would have made the story work a little bit better. But she called herself the friendly witch, and I thought that the friendly witch had a beautiful French twist to go with her outfit. With the curls, it was like a lot. There was a lot of energy put into that hairdo, I could tell.
Yeah. Another episode with the French twist.
It was iconic.
Remember the French twist? Nobody does that anymore.
You got to bring it back.
I don't know about bringing that back.
I still do a French twist sometimes when you like clamp your hair up to like, do the dishes or whatever. You like twist it up and with the clampy thing.
I mean, it is the French, yeah.
Right.
I was annoyed with Brenda, though. She was like so motherly at first. And I was like, God, give Kelly a break. She's single. She wants to skank it up.
I mean, what?
Let her skank it up.
And P.S., you're not my mom. Hello.
Yeah.
It was too much.
She was like appalled at her outfit.
And meanwhile,
the minute she saw her.
Yeah. Meanwhile, she had a Glock or a pistol tucked into her pants.
What'd you just call it?
A Glock, like a one of those fancy guns. She had like a handgun tucked into her her poon nanny.
Mm-hmm. And she pulls it out right in front of her dad and her brother.
Yeah, it was a little like I thought, well, if you shouldn't really be talking to me when you got a gun stuck in your crotch, lady.
But you know what? Her outfit was probably really hot. She was just probably a little uptight that night.
She was mad.
It was like polyester. It was like it couldn't breathe. I mean, imagine.
Oh, and then David was there. He wasn't supposedly dressed up, but I felt like that blazer was a costume. He looked like he was dressed up like a magician.
It's purple and black, though. That's like Halloween colors. Mm-hmm. It was horrible.
Yeah, he didn't stick around for the party. He went to meet up with Scott Scanlon in the bushes, which reminded me so much of when I saw that shot of their two little heads peeking through the bushes for an uncomfortably long amount of time, by the way. Like they just kept talking and having their moment while their heads were stuck in the bushes. And it reminded me of Mystery Girls. Do you remember when we had to do that scene and we were in the bushes and we had to like peek through the bushes?
Oh my gosh. You guys, we had so much fun doing Mystery Girls. Definitely. I feel like this director never came back again. I feel like somewhere afterwards they were all watching and they're like, good episode, but just not very 90210, right?
I don't know. Did he even? I really don't know if he
I
came
don't
back
think
or
so.
not.
I don't know. I don't recognize his name.
Well, the episode takes a turn. And I think we should get into that, but we need to take a break.
Okay. What do you do to relax? I love to snuggle up on the couch with my dog and a fluffy blanket.
I like cozy things. That sounds good to me.
A relaxing day at home starts with the essentials. Third Love has created perfectly fitted underwear and loungewear with unbeatable comfort in cup sizes that come in AA through I and loungewear and sleepwear that comes in sizes extra small through 3X. Third Love creates high quality underwear, sleep, and loungewear to celebrate your comfort when you need it most.
I wear my Third Love bra so much
Me too.
that I got to get a new one.
Me too.
I don't get rid of my stuff, so I have a drawer full of bras that are so outdated, and I want to get rid of them. But luckily, my Third Love is right on top because I wear it, wash it, put it back, always wear it.
It's good. It fits so good. And so does the loungewear. I'm really excited to dive into that. And you know what? The fitting room quiz is fun and it's super easy, interactive experience that focuses on size, breast shape, current fit issues, and your personal style to deliver bras and underwear that are perfect for you.
Throughout the whole thing, Fit stylists are available for one-on-one chats to answer any questions. Third Love knows you deserve to feel comfortable and confident 24/7. So right now, they are offering our listeners 20% off your first order.
Go to thirdlove.com/90210 now to find your perfect fitting bra and get 20% off your first purchase. That's thirdlove.com/90210 for 20% off today. 9021 OMG is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy.
As we begin to see light at the end of the COVID tunnel, thank goodness, a lot of people are still feeling down and emotionally out of sorts. You may not feel depressed or at a total loss, but if you're feeling a little bit off or your relationships are suffering, that could be a sign you should talk to somebody. Online therapy can help.
BetterHelp is not a crisis line. It's not self-help. It's professional therapy done securely online. Fill out a questionnaire to help BetterHelp assess your needs and match you with your professional licensed therapist.
Start communicating with your therapist in under 48 hours. Schedule secure weekly video, phone, or even live chat appointments. Therapists have a broad range of expertise that may not be locally available in your area.
Log into your account anytime to send a message to your therapist. BetterHelp is committed to great matches, so it's easy and free to change therapists if needed. Start communicating with your therapist in under 48 hours. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/90210. That's betterhelp.com/90210.
It's crazy how much we have to pay for outdated, impersonal healthcare, and even crazier that we all just accept it. It's time to face facts. Healthcare is backwards. Luckily, there's Forward, a new approach to primary care that's surprisingly personal and refreshingly straightforward. Forward never makes you feel like just another patient. Backed by top-rated doctors and the latest tech, Forward gives you access to personalized care whenever you need it. Using in-depth genetic analysis and real-time blood work, Forward's top-rated doctors provide you with in-depth insights to better understand your genetics, mental, and physical health. They then create custom, easy-to-understand plans to help guide you to achieving long-term health. With Forward, you get unlimited in-person visits with your doctor and access to care anytime via the Forward app, all for one flat monthly fee. It's time to stop accepting backwards healthcare and start moving your health forward. Visit GoForward.com today to learn more. That's GoForward.com.
So you're saying the episode took a turn. What do you mean by that? It says like became more of a after school special kind of thing.
Yeah, it gave an after school special vibe, and then it was all back to centered around Kelly's outfit. And was it too, revealing, or were you giving off a message by wearing that outfit per se?
What do you think about that concept of like we as women have to dress a certain way so that we don't get sexualized by, or worse, by men.
It's a bummer.
It is. Yeah.
I mean, guys can walk around with their shirts off.
Right.
And women aren't like, ow. My daughter just told me she was walking with her friend from her school to the mall the other day, which I just recently let her start doing. It totally freaks me out, but it's like a block away. She was like, yeah, she said we got catcalled. And
what?
That's
Who?
a catcalled, just some guys driving by. And she said they looked like they were construction guys, like older men.
Ew. I can't believe that still happens.
I can't either.
Yeah. That happened to me one time, like in the last couple of years.
One time?
And then one time. I think I might have told you about this. And then the guy was like next to me, kept pulling up. And I was like looking down, adjusting. I was doing my music. And then I looked. And then he saw, he was like, oh, old. He was young. He was like, he just saw blonde hair. He was like,
they think it's going to be good. Yeah.
And then he's like, because Jen and I have talked about, sis, this hasn't happened to you yet. When you turn, you pass that point where you think you're still like, oh, young and a looker. And men are like, oh, there's some moms and not MILFs. There's like, mm-mm.
Yeah, you reach the age where you kind of become invisible to guys.
Yeah.
But you're saying you weren't invisible from the back. So there you go. You got a compliment. At least that should make you feel better.
I mean,
but do you still want to be visible to men, even though if you're in a relationship, like with a husband or boyfriend?
No, I've never been one that like wants that attention or like wants to be spotted in a crowd. Like I've never been one to want to stand out. So I always get really super uncomfortable when that kind of thing happens.
I get a little uncomfortable right now because I'm like 9 months pregnant and I went to Cascades concert at SoFi Stadium this past weekend. And I was like, I'm the pregnant girl in the suite right now. Like, I just kind of felt like, everyone's there like party and I definitely was not partying.
No, that's
like,
the one thing about being pregnant is like you do. You're like, hi, it's just me over here.
Yeah.
Making a baby. I'll be in the corner just making a baby.
How I feel.
I think women should and wear whatever they want. What am I trying to say here? I feel like they should dress however they want. And it doesn't mean that they're asking for anything. That if it makes you feel good. And it used to be the one night of the year that you're like, okay, I'm not a slut. I'm not a whore. If I want to dress a little sexy, I'm going to do it. And it's for me. It's not about men's attention. I mean,
it's funny though that you say that because like teenage girls take that opportunity to make it a big sexy situation. Like rare release can be outfits sometimes and that's their night to shine, you know? Nice. I can dress sexy because it's a costume and I can get away with it.
Yeah. I don't know, but I feel like that's changing now because now everything they wear is skimpy. The skirts are so short, like, and the tops are, I guess I can't speak. Like when
you sound like you're 100 years old right now.
I know.
The skirts are so short.
They are. I know. Oh, forget I said that.
It's true though. It's true. The music's too loud and the skirts are too short.
Do you have rules with your daughters of what they can wear and not wear?
I just am like, one of my daughters wears little tank tops that kind of show her tummy now. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I don't love it, but she usually covers up with a sweatshirt, like halfway on, halfway off kind of a look. You know, that's what they're doing these days, the kids. But I feel like they don't want to show their bodies any more than I want them to, really.
Mine are younger. I'm just getting to the point where my 13-year-old is trying to fit in and dress like that. It's still hard because she's my baby, so it's hard for me to see it. And I'm like, I just tell her, I'm like, you have to remember, you have to cross your legs now. You can't like just bend. Or, the other day we were out and she bent over to pick something up, and I was like, Stella, I see your butt. I see your butt. And I was like, she's like, Mom, calm down.
And it's just a butt.
Like, oh, yeah. And I was like, oh, teen drama. Oh, it's happening. Oh my gosh. Okay.
But I thought was funny. I mean, that's what I guess the point of this whole storyline was to, Kelly felt confident and she felt beautiful. And I think that's what matters. And people like Brenda and Steve were kind of saying, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't be putting yourself out there like that. Is that a thing a friend should or shouldn't do or say, you know?
I think in this case, it needed to be said based on what ended up happening towards the end of the episode with Kelly, so that there was like both sides of the story, I think, like almost like I told you so.
So if you had the rewind button, you could like just rewind it and then go back because you knew what was going to happen. I'm just kidding.
Well, I think that, you know, like sometimes even with you and me, like you'll be wearing something and you won't even notice, but it'll be a little too low and I'll like come over and tug it up on the boobs, like cover those up just a little bit more. Mm-hmm. So I guess it never really ends.
It's always in best interest, right?
So Brenda and Steve had the best interest of what they said to Kelly and Donna, but I didn't think it came across the right way. Like it wasn't, obviously we know what ended up happening, but I thought Kelly looked beautiful. And like, I feel like at 17, I would have told you look great. Like, I don't think it wasn't too much. I don't know. It's hard to say. And then Steve was trying to tell Donna, like, you look like a trout. And it's like, well, she can dress however she wants. I mean, a trout. I don't know.
Did Donna stand there just squirming like that the whole party? Like, how long did you have to stand there and squirm and look uncomfortable and awkward? Like, do that?
I feel like if I think back to it right now, he made me do one or two shots. That was it. And then they just kept recycling it. Yes.
Kept cutting it into different places.
Yeah. And I was like, is he going to cut? Is he going to cut? Just keep going.
He just kept doing it. Kelly was turning away the guys. I thought it was hilarious when she turned away the aardvark. I mean, who wouldn't? Can't really blame her.
Oh my gosh. Remember the guy that wanted you to meet him outside?
Yes.
Remember Cliff?
Was he dressed
Cliff
like
Dorfman?
Peter Pan? That was Cliff.
Yeah. Cliff. We used to be friends with him, but I don't even remember how we met him originally.
How
Shannon?
were we friends with him? I know he was
always around.
He was always there. He was always on.
You remember?
Like in the dressing room, and we were like, "Who is this guy? What's he doing here?" And he acted like he was so comfortable being there too, like all the time.
Like other weeks?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's why he was on. He got that part.
He had to be
was
a friend
an actor,
of somebody. Steve, Ian or Shannon.
I thought it was Shannon. I don't remember.
It got weird.
I saw him years later, though.
But he did.
Like, oh, he's still here. Oh. It was like at a party. I was like, oh, there you are, 30 years later. No, he's a nice guy.
He did a good job, though, as the slimy Robin Hood guy. What? They're telling us that he was on a total of 6 episodes, Michael Setta.
This one being the first?
Cliff was on 6 episodes?
Guess so.
Huh. Well, he was always there, so I guess they just threw him in.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We didn't hire anybody. Oh, bring that kid in that's hanging out by the lunch line.
So if that happens, are they paid?
Yes, of course. He was there. He wasn't stupid. He's just standing around waiting for his big moment.
I feel like he was on other... Like, he was an actor. It wasn't like it was his only thing. Halloween was the first episode. Season 10. He was all the way into season 10.
Wow.
My mind is blown right now.
He lingered for a long time.
We got to have him on the show and talk to him about how did he get these jobs? How did this all start?
Yeah.
Let's get Michael Setta on the show. I don't even know if I'm saying his last name right, Setta.
That's the character, I think. Really? His name was Cliff Dorfman. Oh. I'll never forget that name.
Cliff Dorfman. Let's get Cliff Dorfman on the show.
Oh my God.
Please, let's book him next week, Cliff Dorfman. Oh, okay. So, and then all the time that this is happening, Kelly's almost getting raped. I know that anytime anyone asks me, like, oh, what are all the things that happened to Kelly over the course of the 10 years of the show, all the dramas, I'm like, oh, she did this, and she almost got raped. This is the almost got raped episode that I'm referring to. Yeah. Because she almost got raped too, and she's talking about the slumber party thing.
Right.
But this is when we get to see. Unfortunately, it was very cringy. I was super cringy watching Kelly and the cowboy flirt. It just made me so uncomfortable watching it.
Did you watch by yourself or did you watch with anybody else?
Yeah, I watched it by myself.
Okay.
I thought he was good, though.
Yeah, he was great. The actor that played the cowboy, Anthony Stark. And then you guys, on the people that weren't at the party were Brandon and Emily. And Emily has taken her the twins to go trick or treating at Brandon's house, and then they end up going together, and then they end up losing the kids, which was terrifying. But then all ends well, of course, and they end up at the Peach Pit where they have their first big smoocheroonie.
Yeah.
Right there in front of Nat and all the customers to see. I was like, guys, you don't do that at work.
I know. I was like, did I miss something?
It was a good kiss, though. Yeah. We said before that we didn't really feel like they had chemistry. I felt like it was building in this episode and starting to be a little bit more visible.
Definitely. I felt like Emily was a little off character in this episode, though. But I guess it was another side to her. I guess that was good. I don't know. I thought the storyline was a little bores me more, but I like that. I like they ended up being together and kissing. I like that part, but the whole like losing the kids and like, I don't know. I just wanted to get back to the Halloween party, right?
Wanted more of the Halloween party.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah. Like I just didn't want to leave it. I guess I wish that all the storylines had been at the Halloween party. The others felt distracting when they weren't, like the David and Scott storyline and
the egging in the bushes.
Yeah, I feel like the Scott says that he loves what does he say? I love drama or I love danger. Scott Scanlon says, I love danger. He never strikes me as a guy that loves the danger.
No,
but I guess
it's
they're
building up.
Yeah, I guess they had a plan in place to write towards what's coming up as a storyline for his character.
Was Andrea in this episode?
She was in the beginning. She was in I think she just worked. She just worked the whole time. She stayed in the newspaper office and never came out.
Okay.
Yeah, she didn't go to the party.
Do we know why? Never said.
Never explained.
What was she? Maybe she was doing something. She needed days off.
She never really went to parties, though. It's kind of like understood in a weird way.
Yeah, she would have had to take the bus, and maybe the bus didn't go to that location.
Well, she could have picked me up because I obviously needed someone to give me a ride there and carry me in. But
Tori, being that you grew up in Beverly Hills, did you ever come over the hill into the valley and come to house parties, or was that like a poo-pooed on idea?
I did once. Like, even though I grew up on the west side in LA, like I ended up being best friends at the end of high school with Valley kids. So I ended up like at the end of high school, always going to the Valley.
It's funny because even like in the movie Clueless, they make a big deal of like how, oh, it's in the Valley. Like it's going to get broken up. Like I just didn't know if that was a thing in real life.
I don't know. Beverly Hills people suck. Valley's where it was at.
Well, we've talked a lot of fashion, even though we have that coming up. And we haven't talked best lines. We have a few questions if you guys are up for it. I think we should take a break and come right back.
Support for this podcast comes from CLR Clear. If stubborn shower mold has you miffed, or you're hard-pressed to get rid of hard water buildup, it's high time you kick your so-so cleaning products to the curb. It's time to fight the clean fight with the CLR Clear family of products. CLR Clear knows there's all kinds of dirty, which is why they offer products to help you take on messes all around your home. So go on and fight off that countertop crud. Square up with those carpet stains. Go crazy on your garbage disposal gunk. CLR Clear has formulas to help you get the dirty deeds done. Plus, many of their products meet the EPA's Safer Product Standard. So while tough on messes, it's still the safer choice for your family and the environment. Show dirt and grime around your home who's boss with CLR Clear and fight the clean fight. Learn more about the entire product lineup by going to CLRbrands.com.
Even though summer is in full swing, fall will be here before you know it. So start shopping now for all the essentials. Fall is right around the corner which means school.
Oh my gosh. So this year I will have kids in 4 different schools.
You're going to need a lot of clothes.
A lot of clothes. But you know what? This is a good reminder that I'm going to start early because you know me, I wait till last minute, but I want to start now.
Yep, don't worry. Macy's is the ultimate back-to-school destination, too. Not only does Macy's have all the clothing styles you need, and I'm talking shirts, denim, shoes, and much more, but you can also shop for backpacks and lunchboxes, which you will need.
Plus, if you're heading off to college, Macy's has tons of bedding, sheets, and small appliances like coffee makers, #dorm life.
And if you need something last minute, just shop online at Macy's, then pick it up in-store or choose contact-free curbside pickup. If you don't want to leave the couch, there's same-day delivery powered by DoorDash. Thank you very much. I'll take that option. Available at select Macy's and valid on most in-stock items, Macy's has you covered this summer and fall.
So check out Macy's.com now.
This is urgent. It's been more than a year since George Floyd's murder. But this isn't about one event. It's about fair policing and safe communities. Business Roundtable stands with the millions of Americans across the nation calling for policing reform. We urge members of Congress on both sides of the aisle to continue working together to pass bipartisan policing legislation that can be signed into law before August recess. Paid for by Business Roundtable.
Yeah, this episode was all about the fashion, the costumes. So we covered, Kelly's costume, Donna's costume. I loved the Bonnie and Clyde thing. I thought that was really cool. Although I was a little scared of Dylan's machine gun. I thought, do they still give out costumes with guns these days? I don't think I would want my kid to have that.
I know.
Prop.
I even have a stigma with water guns.
But that one looked real. That looked like the real thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you guys have any other fashion?
Steve's Zorro outfit
He
with his
looked
little
great.
mustache.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did. He looked very handsome. I feel like his mullet was even more intense this episode.
When he wasn't in costume, you could really...
Yeah, it was shaved and just
but
grown
poofed
long.
up in the back. Yeah.
You could have braided it slightly.
The Jason and Brandon were sporting their sideburns, so he maybe felt pressure like he had to have some signature look. The mullet was his signature look, apparently.
It was something.
And of course, there was Cindy's little tiny tie that she wore to give out Halloween candy. I thought that was, really, she went to a lot of effort to put that tie on. And it was the shortest little tie and had a little tiny pumpkin on it.
At first, I thought it was a nod to Brenda's ties that she was wearing throughout the season. I was confused. And I was like, oh, it's a tiny tie for Halloween.
Tiny tie.
Tiny tie.
Favorite lines?
I like Kelly's line, Steve, with you and me, it's all imagination.
Oh, that's good.
So good.
Mine was from Steve. It was, come on, don't be a squeef.
There's the squeef again. Squeef is apparently a big
Someone liked that
word
line
in the 90s.
It really stood out this time because I had the subtitles on. So I could see it spelled out. And I was like, huh.
Why'd you have the subtitles on?
I always do. I have them on every network and streaming service.
By choice.
Yeah, because by choice. Yeah, English subtitles. Because sometimes my house is so loud and there's kids screaming or people running around. Or
I'm always like, how do I get this off? I don't know how to turn off the subtitles.
I used to not be a subtitle girl, and somebody else told me that they always have it on, and I need it now because there's always some sort of noise in the background, or my husband's cooking something the kitchen's right off the living room, so it's nice.
You don't find it distracting that you just tend to read instead of listening?
Yeah, that's what happens to me when I'm watching it and the words are down at the bottom. I find myself reading it and instead of watching what they're doing.
It's a mixture of both. I don't know. I'm so used to it now. Now, if they're not on, I can't hear anything. And maybe I'm going deaf because I have headphones on every day of my life, music blasting in them.
Mm-hmm. Something to look into, maybe.
That's something I've been putting off. So I'll put that on my to-do list.
Speaking of to-do lists, you have questions for us. Let's to-do them.
Yeah, this is from Alexa. Sorry if we're setting off your actual Alexa by saying that.
Hey, Alexa.
But she says, I've been reading these comments on Instagram, and there's so many passionate fans when it comes to relationships on the show, even 30 plus years later. What do you guys do when you read negative comments about your characters? Do you get defensive or do you just ignore it?
I don't think I get defensive when I read negative comments about my character on 90210. I think it crosses the line when they start talking about personally, the person, or my kids, or my whatever, my life. But if it's just related to like, oh, I hate Kelly, she was such a bitch. I couldn't stand Kelly, the sound of her voice. I've read them all. But
yikes,
that it doesn't bother me. Like, to each his own. Some people like Brenda, some people like Donna, some people like Kelly. Everybody has a different flavor. So it doesn't really get to me. It's the personal ones that are a little bit, they get you. They get you in the heart a little bit.
Do you go in and you read all the comments? I can't. I don't read
sometimes
comments.
And then it takes me down a rabbit hole.
If you go down that rabbit hole and all you see is you can read 30, 40, 50 comments that are positive and make you feel so good, but you don't read those. You read the negative ones.
Yep. And that sticks
out. Right to them.
Trolls.
But I think that talking about that maybe will bring awareness to people, because we're not the only people that do that. Everybody does that. Like, your mind goes to those dark places so easily. So I think it's a good message for everybody to ignore the negative and stick with the positive, go with the positive, whether it's in a comment on a post on your Instagram or anywhere, whether it's in your own head. Don't listen to those negative things.
It's so crazy that people feel like if it's a celebrity or a character that that they're not real to them. So I guess they feel like it's okay. But I always think, like, how would they feel if someone said something horrible to them without even knowing them at all? Like, It's just, I don't know. I never answer those, like, because like on my Instagram, I have like a email, like my Instagram email. So people can write things there. And usually it's about business. I don't get many personal ones. But the other day I happened to read a personal one. And these things never bother me. I have really thick skin after this many years, after 30 years. But she was being so mean and saying how ugly I was. And just, it was so horrifying that I actually wrote her back. And we talked about this. And then she was like, oh, I'm sorry. I love you. I didn't think you read these. And I just meant you used to be beautiful and you shouldn't inject your face with anything like Botox or filler. And I'm one of the people that care about you. You don't have many people that care about you that would tell you not to do that. So I just thought,
oh my God, I care about you.
I literally cannot handle that. Wow.
I was like, and then I was like, okay, am I going to write her back again? And I'm like, no. And so I didn't write her back again. But it upset me enough that I almost put her email, her comment to me on my Instagram and said, this isn't nice to do to somebody. Like, it really upset me. And like I said, we have thick skin from everything we've heard over the years from people talking about our everything, you know?
And, and if since we're in the public eye, and if we do say something bad or off-putting to someone or negative about someone, it'll be picked up and will be canceled. You say the wrong thing these days and you're out. Why doesn't that apply to people that send in, it should apply to people that are just trolling and being hateful like that.
Imagine they like got to work and everyone's like, we know what you did. And they're like, what are you talking about? And they're like, you're canceled. And it's like, yeah, like it should apply. Like, it's crazy.
It's so much more intensified now because everyone has access to just directly to you, in theory. Back in the day, how were the comments? Or was it just from media outlets then back in the day?
No, there were like forum boards, like
what?
On the internet. It just started. Wait, is that wrong?
Pre-internet, like you guys were.
I don't know, but I used to read the comments,
like chat room banter?
rooms. Where was that? Like
on AOL. You got mail.
It ruined my life back then. Like I was like 16, 17, people being like, you have bug eyes, frog eyes, you're the ugliest thing. Like people always say, why do you turn to the side? And it's like, because people wrote things like I had a nose job and my nose is slightly crooked, but people wrote such horrible things that I like hated my face. Like it's a real thing. Like people need to watch what they say. Like it can like stay with you forever. That's like Ugh.
Let's just all be kind. How about that?
Right?
How about we all just be kind to one another and give each other a break, because life is hard and we all make mistakes, and everybody has their preferences, but we should all just practice kindness. Let's do that today. I'm going to go and be kind to somebody that I would normally not be kind to. I've already done it once today. I'm going to do it again.
Do it again. All right. Next question is from Linda. She says, you both have had several hairstyles throughout the course of the show. Did you get to pick your hairstyles or have to have them pre-approved before each season? Did you have a favorite? Tori, was it your decision to go brunette later in the series? Lots of questions.
I feel like we had free reign. I think we were probably supposed to check in, but I don't think we did if we chose to do like haircuts or things. And then they would just be like, uh-oh, now we have to deal with it. Let's write it. As long as it didn't happen within the episode, or if it was an episode that was a continuation, or if it came back a new season. My choice to go brunette, I had a manager at the time, and she told me, she was like, no one's ever going to see you as anything besides Donna. And you need to be more like girl next door, but Donna was girl next door, so I don't know. So she like convinced me to dye my hair brown. Now looking back, I'm really sad that Donna like got married. Oops, we're not spoiler, sorry. Like I'm so bummed that I didn't have like Donna like blonde original hair when I got married to David at the end. Like I don't know. I wouldn't have chosen dark hair. No.
Yeah. I went dark for a minute too, right after the show finished. And because I thought I need departure. I need to not be associated with Kelly for a minute. I need to not feel like Kelly for a minute. And I dyed my hair brown, and my manager almost killed me. And he was really mad. He's like, well, I guess you never want to work again in this town. But I was like, that probably made me keep it brown longer.
What about the short hair Kelly has at one point?
Yeah,
that was written
the short
in?
hair that Kelly had.
I guess I wanted to be like the people like in the trends. I wanted to have a pixie haircut, so I tried to be a pixie. Very like what was the girl that did the pixie? Winona Ryder. I wanted to be her.
Tell them what I said to you.
What'd you say?
No, I don't remember exactly what you said to me, but you were appalled at my hair. From the moment you cast eyes on it, and never, ever let me forget it. Never a day went by that you didn't make a negative comment and tell me I look like a soccer mom.
Okay, so was this Kelly or was this Jenny? Like, what was the reasoning behind the pixie cut?
It was a Jenny decision, probably. Like
okay,
and I didn't really think it through to like, oh, I'm a character on a really popular TV show. I didn't really think that one through.
I thought if I remember, I feel like it worked in with a storyline.
You probably remember exactly what happened. I'm going to refer to you.
Me or Tori?
No, Tori.
I was like,
what?
Me.
I don't remember why you cut it.
Episode,
but it looked. I loved your hair short though when you had the Collins storyline and your hair was like edgy and spiky, like when you would like put stuff in it. I just didn't love it when it was like fluffy shorts.
Done, like all curled and poofed out.
Yeah. I felt like her intention was like cool. Like when she came, like when she walked in, it looked cool and she was dressed cool. And then they put her in like the Kelly like dresses that were in then, and they did her hair on set, and the hairstylist didn't know how to do the hair. And that's when it looked like a soccer mom.
Well, however, I don't know. I do know that if you type in like to Google, even to this day, if you type in like short haircut, but there's a picture of me somewhere in that. If you scroll down long enough, you'll see a picture of me, but that's short haircut. I loved it. People loved it. I loved it. My husband does not want me to do it again, so I will leave my hair long, I guess. But
is that even a question? You had a thought about doing it again?
No, I do, because long hair,
don't you dare.
It's a lot of work. When you have long hair, you have to wash it. You have to like dry it. To brush it.
This is short.
Oh my God. I said it 25 years ago and I'll say it again now. Do not do that.
Well, I have an appointment on Saturday, so we'll see what happens.
I'm going to be super mad if you cut your hair short.
Jenny doesn't even look like you.
Look.
Like these pictures.
Look, this is me with short hair.
Let me see.
That's like a lob. So that's That's acceptable. This is
like, are we talking like this? You would maybe do like that could be chic, like not. Well, but there's extensions now, so it doesn't really matter. You could do it. Yeah, see, out in person it looked good, and we had a photo shoot where she had like this little. We all had like skin tight little dresses on, and she had it sleeked and like darker lips, and it looked hot. Yeah, no, I don't like that.
Okay, you guys, next week's episode is called what?
The next 50 years.
Ooh.
The next 50 years.
You're looking at it.
50.
Here it is, the next 50 years. I hope you like it. And if you don't, who cares? Just be nice. We had fun dressing up with you guys for the Halloween episode. Happy Halloween in July.
Yes, happy Halloween. Wait, is Cliff Dorfman in next episode?
Cliff Dorfman. Call us up. Email us.
I'm going to slide into his DM as soon as we're done here.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye, you guys.
Bye.
Switching to Geico is a good idea, especially when you consider everything.
First off, Geico makes it easy to switch. They have licensed agents available 24/7 online or over the phone.
But if it's so easy, you might start thinking everything is easy, even big wave surfing. And it's not. It's actually quite difficult.
Well, if you switch to Geico, you could save hundreds on car insurance. And you could keep saving by bundling your motorcycle, boat, and RV, plus your home or renter's insurance.
But saving money might lead you to make some questionable purchases, like a 20-foot feather boa. And do you know how hard it is to clean a 20-foot feather boa?
Well, they do have an industry-leading mobile app you can use to pay your bill, file and manage a claim, or add a new driver.
But when life gets a little easier, it makes you too confident, and you start calling everyone Ace. And you're better than that.
Well, Geico has a 97% customer satisfaction rating and has been saving people money for 85 years. It's hard to beat that.
But you're right.
Switch to Geico. It's obviously a good idea.
A young college grad gunned down walking his dog. A young mom, Michelle Parker, vanishes after dropping off her little twins at the babysitter. Nancy Grace here. Every day on Crime Stories, we break down the biggest breaking crime news and study the clues left behind so we can help crime victims and their families. Every day, a mission. Every day, another chance to stop crime and keep one more person safe. Join us. Listen to Crime Stories with Nancy Grace on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Get ready for a gloves-off spin on the Classic Advice Show with the Dear Chelsea podcast. Comedian Chelsea Handler and her assistant/confidant/co-host Brandon Marlowe lead the podcast that offers unvarnished, hilarious, and empowering advice to people from all walks of life.
Instinctively, I would always tell everybody to just reach for their dreams and go for it and take a huge risk in life.
Listen to Dear Chelsea on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.